Okay, we're up to game 6 now. Um, Fighting against an opponent with like the correct portrait, the best one. I don't know what card this is. We have triple white. We've got a 7-drop. Great. It's not even a good 7-drop. And we've got Ageless Mentor. I keep thinking this is the one that finds a sigil for us. This is not. I'm not a huge fan of this hand. It does not have a looter and it does not have mana fixing. Let's redraw. This is also not that good. That's so funny. We've got double prints and double blue, but that's okay. I think this is a better hand than the last one, although this has like no synergy because we can't play these on these creatures. So we need to draw like the other parts to go with everything that's in this hand, but that's okay because we'll probably just do it. Well, that's not doing it. All right. Next turn needs to be a good draw. We could, if we can get a looter or a white sigil next turn, that would be the best. If we get the looter, it's cool because we can use it right away and we can dump our third blue sigil. The opponent's ramping and flying. Twinning Ritual is not what we want, but it does give us the opportunity to do this. Let's find out if this turns our guy into a frog while it's in hand. Looks like no. Sweet. So we've got a 6/6 false print that we can play when we get our second white mana. And opponent's got some good flyers. We may be getting beaten down a little too far this game to be able to do anything. If we can hit another white, we can play Terrazon next turn. And if we can hit white followed by any other sigil, we can play 2 false princes the turn after that. We are taking a lot of damage here. We're taking 6 this turn. Oh, they may be playing around storm links or whatever it's called. So we've got some draws that we can make. It is not looking too good because they have a lot of flying out right now. Okay. Okay, so maybe this hand just didn't really work out, but it was the mulligan. Okay, there's nothing we can play here. Let's do this. And let's do this. Alright. And good game. Yeah. So there was nothing we could play in that hand. I guess that would be a reason to have more white sigils in the deck, but I stand by the way it's built because we really want a blue on turn 1, but we also really want a looter on turn 1. And we can't increase our chances of getting a looter any more than we have, but we can increase our chances of getting the blue sigil. This hand is terrible. This hand is also pretty bad, but we can twin this thing and have a bunch of flyers when we get around to that part of the game. So this hand offers us the chance to have, wow, this is pretty cool. We'll get to show this off here. So we're going to copy this thing and end the turn. So now we've got a copy that's a 3/3. So if we Twinning Ritual this guy again, then we're going to get a copy that's a 4/4. So we're going to play a 4/4 Serpent Trainer on our next turn. So yeah, that's pretty nice. I mean, we've got six flyers, sort of, in our hand right now. And we're going to be able to start deploying those guys. And they should outdo this this current board that we're seeing. All right. Well, that doesn't change our play. We are going to need to hit with this 4/4. So the 3/3 now theirs is a 4/4 as well. This might be a little hard to raise. We're definitely not blocking here. The opponent did not attack with their 1/3, which suggests that they weren't going to give it +3/+3. But we're on a fairly nice. Alright. We're on a fairly late turn here, so I wouldn't put it past the opponent to, like, just act like they're offering a trade and still have it. Because attacking with this would really give away that they had the, +3/+3. Right now, we can actually do a play of Amber Acolyte and finish this thing off. But I don't think that's better than playing another Serpent Trainer. Especially since the opponent knows about, knows that we had at least 3 of these. They know about this one and these 2, and they don't know that we've got another here. So we've got all the Serpent Trainers. Hopefully they'll stop dropping sigils at some point before this is like, if this can, like, you know, stop at 5 or 6 power, that would be pretty cool for us. They are sending both of those now, but they don't really lose anything with this Warcry coming in. So we'll go ahead and block and see. I mean, if they have a combat trick to take this out, this is not one of the most relevant cards in play at the moment. We've got a Sigil, so we can murder something with Predator's Instinct if we want to. And we can send both of these in, although they can block here. We also could, let's see, this is when it damages a player. So we could give this killer, kill their 2/2, keep this to block. We could send both in, but they just get blocked, and then we could finish this off by giving a 2/2 killer. It looks like we're playing a Serpent Trainer and giving it killer this turn, so should we do it in the way that lets us get through their 0/6, or should we do it in the way that lets us kill their 2/2? I think that we just need to attack with them. And the opponent will, of course, block because, you know, they've got good blocks for each of these. But then we'll play a Serpent Trainer and give it killer and pick off this 2/2 that has already taken 4 damage. And that'll be our turn. We're a little behind here because the opponent has this nice 2-mana 5/5 that's hitting us. We're a little behind on the damage race, but I'm hoping that we can even that out next turn. They probably want to keep this back. If they attack with it, we would, we're taking 6 right now and going to 9. And they are getting the Warcry, which is pretty good. But we're taking 6 right now and going to 9. Uh-oh. Alright, alright. Looks like a little bit of trouble here. This is a pretty safe attack. We could keep this back to block their flyer, I guess. I think we're losing this game, so we're going to take 5, and 3 is 8. Yeah, this looks like we are pretty dead here, but let's go ahead and... If we send both of these in, they block here, and we get 1 Serpent. If we send just this in and they block, we have this guy instead of a Serpent. So we'll just do this attack. They take it, of course, so we can block their flyer next turn, and we can chump a 5/5 if we want to. And this lets us make a Sigil play this turn. And I think that matters more, right? I think that matters more right now than the potential to get more flyers, because we can chump some. We've got a couple chump blockers if we have to. And if we hit a Sigil next turn, we can play a 7-drop. So they should probably attack with everything, right? No, not everything. So we are taking at least 3, so we're going to 5. So we need to block this 5/5 with something. And we can put all our stuff in front of the 5/5, which probably is the best play here. I guess we'll just find out. They may have a combat trick to blow us out, but I don't think we've got a much better option. So this means we're taking 4 damage. Okay, so... that would not have been lethal if they put it on their Overwhelm card. And that does wipe out all of these. I don't think... yeah, we're dead here. We didn't even draw the Sigil. So, good game. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, that was, two nice losses in a row there. That's fine though. When, you know, You're gonna get some losses. I was hoping we'd get a 7-0, but I'll be back with the rest of the games right after this one. Okay. Let's see a good hand. We've got a Permafrost is nice. We've got 2 colors. We do have a 7-drop. Not really something we want to start the game with, but I think we can keep this because we have a removal. We've got a Twinning Ritual that we can copy a False Prince with, and if we draw another Time Sigil, we can play False Prince. So we will keep this. Let's start off with a white and end the turn. We still do need to make some draws, but can't always have the looter like we might want to. I did not take the mulligan there, just because even though we don't have anything really very good that we can play here, I think that we've got. It's not likely that the hand we draw will be better than the way this one can work out. Sometimes you just kind of have to go ahead and like see what you're gonna draw. We get a white. Nope, not a white sigil. We don't need to permafrost that. We'll save it for a bigger threat. So taking 2, but we don't have to worry about that just yet. The opponent's got some mana fixing, so we'll be taking maybe 4 next turn. Okay, and this doesn't even pump our 3 drops, but it does block those things. The opponent can't really do an attack now because they would be sacrificing their 2/1 to hit us for 2, and that's not very good. So this should hold back their board. They can start hitting... Oh, there we go. There's a fixer. They can start hitting us for 1 a turn after this. And I don't think there's anything worth using Killer on. We could freeze this with Permafrost. Next turn, if we don't draw a Sigil, we are playing a False Prince. Yeah, we'll just pass. This isn't worth using the Permafrost on. We need to save it for something bigger, like a Dawnwalker sort of thing. That would be... well, that's gonna whack one of our guys. That's fine, though. We've still got to trade for their 2/1, which we're gonna happily take. And we'll take 5 damage here. This thing is what, a 3... This is a 3/3, so we'll probably Permafrost that guy and have a 6/6 in play, just so we don't have to worry about their flyer. We also could just get a Sigil from the deck, but then we'd only have 2 mana to use after that. And giving this Killer does not really do anything, so we're gonna start being a little more proactive here and putting our big beatdowns into play, and hopefully we'll just draw the sigils we need. Next turn, we're still probably not playing an Amber Acolyte. Yep, so this guy can't really attack. We have taken a little damage, but we should be pretty stable at this point. So if that comes in, they can triple block, but I think we're okay with that. Okay, so they do not triple block. Not really a surprise. They've got a good blocker for our Serpent Trainer, so we would need to get it out of the way before this becomes a really good play. But we do have this guy as a 5/5 right now, so that is a good play because that can get through their 1/5 blocker. So yeah, that's okay. We do have some guys that can tangle with that. This is nice that we hit a land. We actually could get this with Killer if we wanted to, but I don't think we need to do that. So we're probably playing the land. I think if we use up all our mana, we could do that by playing 4 and a 1. So what would we use Killer on here? We would have to make this guy the Killer, and we would use this to take out their 1/5 flyer, and that would let our Serpent Trainer trade with their 2/1 flyer, which is not very good. I don't think we can attack right now. Next turn we could play Amber Acolyte, draw a land, and play False Prince, and that would give us a blocker for this. So we may end up needing to do that. I guess we don't really have a lot of time here. Okay, we'll Killer this guy, We'll play a flyer. There we go. Okay. Oh, and this has endurance too, so that's great to have with killer. I didn't think about the fact that this was gonna get ready to block also. This will keep their 2/1 back because they need it for this block, and this guy we could just try to trade with one of our other things. I would rather trade it for the 5/5 false prince, but I think we're happy putting the 6/6 false prince in front of it. And we could have put both in front, but I think that now Xenan Guardian, even though it's a 1/1 smaller, because it has endurance and it has this ability once we get to 8 mana, is going to be a little more valuable than the 6/6 would have been. So, Twinning Ritual. Does this show what they're getting? It does not. So they got a copy of an Echo card. So that's going to be their Terrax Hatchling. So they've got a couple of 3/2 flyers for 3, which is pretty incredible. So this guy still can't really get through, but we're going to go ahead with the play that we were talking about before. We're going to fetch up a land, I guess. It doesn't really matter which we get. We'll just take one of those, and we'll play a False Prince. And it does not seem like we've got attacks. I suppose if we send both in, they would have to double block our 5/5. Yeah, I guess the 5/5 can attack pretty safely, because they'd have to use one of their flyers to kill it. And if they double block it, say they put a 3/2 and a 2/1 in front of our 5/5 to kill it, they could put their 2/1 in front of this flyer, and that leaves them with a 2/3. But then we lose our 5/5. But it does kill their 3/2. Alternatively, we might kill their 2/1. Yeah, I think this is, well, maybe we just want to keep this to block a 3/2, though. I don't think we're getting the extra Serpent out of it. So let's send this guy in, and if they block it, it's okay, because we've got a good ground blocker anyway. So they are taking multiple blocks. They use the 3/2 there. So we got to take out one of their flyers with our endurance creature. They still get to play another one of those, but they do have to keep this on defense as long as we keep this in play. And if we want to, we can trade our Serpent Trainer for their 3/2 flyer when it attacks. And a False Prince can start coming in too. So they actually played their 2/1. Interesting. False Prince attacks, they can block with a 1/1, a 2/1, and a 2/1, so we'll send it in. And we may as well send in this thing too, because it's not doing much else for us. This we can keep back. This we'll hold on to because we can get some good value out of it later. Oh no, that's really bad for us. Well, so I guess we wasted our 2/1 there. That was maybe a little bit greedy, but we'll just drop a couple flyers. And the Terrax Hatchlings are nicely sized for blocking each other when they get +1/+1, because our 2/1s can block the opponent's 3/2s. So they are keeping one of these guys to block with. 16. So we're going to do that block for sure. And we can't block their 2/3, and we probably don't want to trade our 2/1 for this. It's better to just take the extra 2 damage than lose our flyer here. We'll have a big blocker next turn. And oh my, that is a 7/7. Power Surge and Overwhelm. So it's a 7/7 Overwhelm. And that is a bit frightening. We still haven't drawn our 7th Sigil. So we don't have an attack with this. We don't have an attack with this. We can send our Terrax Hatchling through, because it won't get blocked. It might get blocked, actually. But I think we need to keep it back. We're just playing a dinosaur and passing. This is not a very good position, but once we draw a Sigil, we can actually have the biggest creature on the board. 7/7 can actually just get blocked by both of our 5 power guy or 5 toughness guys, and if the opponent has pump, then I guess they have pump. Actually, we could put this in front of it too. That lets them kill our hatchling. I'm wondering if the opponent has teleport. But I think our we're going to be pretty bad against teleport anyway. So let's just put our 2 big ones in front of it. And they don't. Okay, so that's good. We got to trade a 5/5 for a 7/7. And what is this? Start of each player's turn, play one of the following at random: 1/1, a 2/2, or a 3/3. So that is, wow. That's really, really powerful. Okay, so they have a 1/1 deadly. That's gonna be a problem. Okay, we're just playing our stuff, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna beat this thing. They're gonna get 2 more creatures. Jeez. We can draw the spell that gives killer. We can give this killer, but then they're still gonna have 3 of the creatures from this, and we don't have very good attacks because we're not putting that much pressure on. I guess we can start swinging with this thing. Yeah, we'll do this. It's not very much, but they should just take the damage. They might trade. They've got a 3/2 flyer in hand, and they're likely to get. They've got a 33% chances of getting a 2/2 flyer before our next. Really? Okay. Yeah, we'll take one. This is a much better blocker than an attacker, but that's fine, I guess. Okay, so they've got a good blocker here. There's our sigil, but I think it might be too late to matter. So these are 3/3s with overwhelm. Yeah, I don't know how we're supposed to beat this card. If we send in a 5/5, like they just block with a 3/3 and a 2/3, so we have no attacks. Yeah, we could still draw the killer spell next turn, but I think it's too late to matter. Having them get like 5 permanents from this is just too much. Okay, yeah, that one's not gonna attack. Let's see, we could do this. We could do this. We can do this. This guy, I guess, needs to block a 3/2 flying. They don't have... No, they do. They did keep a flyer back to block. So yeah, this needs to block a 3/2. And that's it. Okay. Well, I think that they maybe needed to wait another turn to attack there, but they did clear out some of our stuff. We really needed to draw the a removal for this to have much of a chance. They've got a deadly guy, and we don't have overwhelm on this because we don't have a sigil. So we can't attack into these. So there's another flyer. This locust is probably the best one of those 3 types of creatures for the opponent to get. Still no attacks. We'll just play our guys. I believe there's a maximum of 12 creatures that you can have in play at once. So the opponent will probably... They will attack here, I guess, because they need to clear out some of their stuff. So we'll be able to pick off a few of their cards. Yeah, it kind of makes sense just to send the deadly ones in. Although maybe they want to keep one of those to block. So their flyers are coming in and the deadlies are coming in. So we're taking at least 3, and we would have to trade our big creatures for these. So we'll just take it here. And I believe on our turn, they're going to have to choose a card to sacrifice to get their next one. So they'll sacrifice one of these ones. Well, that's a little bit late. Oh, I guess they just didn't get one. Huh. So we may actually be able to turn this around somehow. We need to put killer on our 9/9 to kill that thing. And they have no deadly blockers, but they do have an 8/8. We've got a deadly blocker for it, though, so if we can somehow pull this out, that would be pretty incredible. I think that we're still too far behind. I mean, they had, like, 4 turns of getting 2 free creatures per turn, using no cards from hand. So I think we're too far behind at this point. We can block their 8/8, so we've got a deadly to block their 8/8. We've got a 5/5. We've got 5/5s to block 1, 2, 3. So we've got 3 big guys to block their 3/3s. So we've got 1, 2, 4 of those blocked. And then they've got 2 flyers, so we'll take at least 3 down to 4. And then they have a 2, a 1, and 2 1s. So we're actually dead if they... I think we're actually dead if... No, not quite dead. Yeah, I think we're dead if they attack with everything. Because we'd have to take 3 down to 4. We could block this, and they'd get in for 1, 2, 3. So I guess we would go to 1. And now we're still going to have to block these irritating scorpions. So we need to do this block. And what do we sacrifice to this scorpion? I guess we sacrifice a false prince. Okay. The opponent has plenty of blockers left too. Oh, this would be it's a nice one that we could have gotten earlier, but I think we're done for. If we attack with everything, they've got 1, 2, 3 blockers, and they've actually got 4 blockers right here. And we've only got 4 blockers for the rest of their stuff, so that is we've actually got 5 blockers. So yeah, they're going to be able to do the 4 damage, so that is going to be the end of the game. We'll just see if they take the damage. There's always a chance that the opponent, like, you know, isn't paying attention and just doesn't block. But it looks like they're gonna do it here. So now we have to click on their stuff. That's like a punishment, right? For why? Oh, there we go. Yep. So that'll be the end of that draft. All right. So that was a little disappointing. We won some games that were kind of free, like at least one of those the opponent just didn't have mana, and then we won a bunch, but then we lost 3 in a row. So this game may just not have, or sorry, this deck may just not have had the power to keep up with some of the really strong pools that could be out there. So looks like we're 5 and 3 is a little over average, but not where I hope to end up. So thank you for watching, and come back and watch some more drafts with me, and I'll see you later.